So today I'll be continuing with my lecture which I started, that is Introduction to Biology and Classification of the Living Being. I talked about the fact that how Aristotle is actually called as father of biology, father of science of biology, and then I discussed about the fact that how we divide biology into two branches, that is basic biology and then applied biology. And then I talked about the fact that how we divide the the whatever the organisms are there into the taxonomic group, that is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. That is, king preferred cheese over fried green spinach, so this was the mnemonic which we used. Next is, I talked about the classification of the five kingdom by R.H. Whittaker, and then I discussed about the kingdom called Monera, which are called prokaryotes because they are primitive, and based on the development, I talked about the fact that how we divide bacteria. That is one of the one part of the Monera, and we divided bacteria into the archaebacteria, eubacteria, and cyanobacteria. So today we'll be discussing about the Protista. Okay, so the very first thing about the Protista is that they are unicellular eukaryotes, and membrane bound cell organisms like mitochondria, plastid, and sapid vacuoles are present. Some Protista are using hair-like cilia and whip-like flagella for the movement, and in some Protista like Amoeba, they use the false feet, that is also known as pseudopodia. Next is the, if I talk about the mode of nutrition, so they are autotrophic or heterotrophic. And phytoplankton, basically they are photosynthetic, so they are responsible for maximum amount of photosynthesis, 80% of occurring on the earth. And next is what is the organization in cell? So they are eukaryotic. Cell wall is cellulosic, and cell membrane contain organelles, and they are nucleus is developed into this 80S and 70S. Okay, and ribosomes are present. The cytoplasm is in streaming movement. Next is how they reproduce. They reproduce both sexually and by asexually by cell fission and zygote formation. Zygote formation is same like we have in human beings. So I hope you are aware. So the life cycle is found to be both haploid and diploid. Haploid is when it is having half of the DNA, and diploid is when they have full DNA. Okay, and next is the protozoan Protista, have animals-like behavior. For example, amoeboid. If I talked about the amoeba, that they live in freshwater, seawater, or moist soil, they capture the prey with the help of the pseudopodia, and that is the reason the pseudopodia is there. Next is flagellated. They are either free living or parasitic and possess flagella, that is Trypanosoma. And then ciliated protozoa, these are aquatic organisms, have thousands of cilia, Paramecium, sporozoans. They have infectious sporage-like stage in their life cycle of Plasmodium. Next is fungi. They are eukaryotic, non-green, lacking chlorophyll. So in the BPSC they might ask you or give a sentence that fungi belongs to prokaryote which have chlorophyll. Okay, so that's how they can confuse you. So always remember that eukaryotic fungi are the eukaryotic, they are non-green, and whatever is non-green, they will not be having a chlorophyll. Okay, and then they are heterotrophic in nutrition. Now imagine they will tell that fungi are autotrophic. Okay, so that's how they try to trap you. So always remember that fungi are the heterotrophic in nutrition. Okay, and they obtain food from decaying organic matter and are also called saprophytes. Many become multicellular organisms at certain stages in the life. Also remember that they also have cell wall, which is made up of tough complex sugar called chitin. Okay, so it can be asked that whether the fungi they contain cell wall or not. So yes, they contain cell wall, and what do we call the cell wall of fungi? We call it as chitin. Reserve food in fungi is in the form of glycogen and oil. So So this can be asked that how the food is stored into the fungi. So that is stored in the form of glycogen or oil. Okay. And fungi, if I talk about the structure of the fungi, they are filamentous. Their body consists of long slender thread-like structure hypae, which forms a network called mycelium. Okay. And then again, the NCERT separates mycelium into branched, septate and branched, that is trichoderma. Its examples are yeast, agaricus, mushroom, aspergillus, and penicillium. And then fungi is divided into the three main groups: sexual, that is, they involve conjugation of the two gametes or nuclei; and asexual, this type of reproduction occurs within the help of the spores, mucor; and vegetative, this type of reproduction occurs by the fission. My idea is to keep the video short, so that we will be working more on the quality part rather than taking a lot of things in the quantity and not understanding any of them. Okay, so this is going to be this was a short lecture, and now we'll get started with the plantae kingdom. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my lecture. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.